Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Okay, let's see. This is the first time that we have construction going on at 3 different locations. In San Jose, San Francisco, and here as well. I was up there recently, and Lian, one of my disciples, she's remodeling a house next to the temple, and she's so stressed out, which is very unlike her. Lian doesn't like pressure. If you know her at all, she's very Vietnamese, likes to take it easy. What's the big deal? Okay, it's only money anyway. And yet, undertaking this, she bought this tear-down house in San Jose, next to the temple, so now she has to fix it up. It's a real fixer-upper. Basically, it's a tear-down, but she decided to remodel it instead of tearing it down and save some money, or make more money ultimately. And so this poor lady here and the husband are scurrying around and trying to empty the house and clean it up and coordinate with people to come work on the house with the help of some other disciples in San Jose. And if you ever do any remodeling, you know how stressful it is, how much work it is. It's not an easy job at all. And what did I notice? How she handled it? She came to meditate at Gold Forest. She says, "I'm so stressed out. I need to meditate." Doesn't it tell you something? What do people do? What do our people do when they're stressed out? They meditate. Should be a clue to you. When you have real skills in meditation, you'll find out that it's extremely useful for you to cope with your stress, your daily stress. When you undertake something important, you meditate first. When things are not ready for you, what do? You meditate. That's what Master YongHua did. When he was waiting for his disciples to come to America, when he first came to America, he wasn't known. There's no one to support him. So what did he do? He meditated for 6 years. 6 years. Until his disciples came. All the forces are mobilized. Then he started teaching. And then that's what he did. So this is what we Buddhists in the know do. We don't force the issue. We wait. And we wait. We wait till the right time comes. And while we're waiting, how do we wait? We meditate. So meditation is a very important skill. It's a skill that enables you to wait for the right time. All right. Today, does anyone have any questions? If you don't, the plan is to go into something called the Song of Enlightenment, written by Great Master YongHua, who is a disciple, a descendant of Master Huineng, the 6th patriarch. So he's considered to be one of the 4 patriarchs in Chinese Chan. Okay? So the 6th patriarch is so wise, his wisdom is so profound that it's spread out. His wisdom is spread out into 4 disciples. One was specialized in something. Okay? So YongHua is one of the four, is one of the seventh patriarchs in Chinese Chan. And so his accomplishment as a seventh patriarch, among which is this very important thing called the Song of Enlightenment. Okay, so this is the typical Chinese Chan wisdom. And as what we do here in our temples, in our American Chan pursuits or practice, is to go back to the wisdoms of the ancients. And they taught these things for a reason, and their disciples were very accomplished. So it's because of thanks to their teachings. So that's why I love to, when we have a chance to investigate or learn from the Chinese ancients. All right, and as usual, please feel free to ask any questions, okay? If I don't hear any questions, I'll continue to go into this thing called Song of Enlightenment. Very, very famous work in Chinese Chan. Is that okay? All right, now, first impression, why on earth would we call it Song of Enlightenment? In Chinese Chan, there's a rule of thumb. If you're enlightened, you don't talk about it. Let alone compose something that called Song of Enlightenment, meaning that, hey, everybody, I'm enlightened. I feel like singing. For us Americans, how it comes across. Is it just me or you too? That's my first impression. Why on earth? If I were enlightened, I'm going to say, hey, whoopee, I'm enlightened, and I feel like singing and dancing. And yet, he chose to write something called Song of Enlightenment, and it's so praised by the Chinese Chan masters. So that's why I'm curious as to what it's about. In particular, I read it once a long, long time ago because it's fairly easy to understand, and it was highly praised by Master YongHua. All right, so now this is actually the second time. Okay, the first time was a long, long time ago, like over 2 decades ago. Okay, so now it's a closer look, if you will. All right? Okay, so YongHua, that's a great Master YongHua here. I think we discussed YongHua briefly in the Sixth Patriarch Sutra. If you're curious about him, you could go back to that chapter where YongHua came and sought certification from Master Huineng, the Sixth Patriarch, and the Sixth Patriarch gave it to him after YongHua passed the test. And YongHua, immediately after he was certified, which is you're supposed to do if you're enlightened in Mahayana, once you're enlightened, you're supposed to go seek certification that you are enlightened. And so YongHua did that, and when he got the certification on the Sixth Patriarch, he said, okay, thank you, I'm leaving now. And Sixth Patriarch said, so soon? Seriously? You came here just to use me? And that's it? And YongHua said, yeah, I'm busy. So are you. So, but the Sixth Patriarch said, why don't you stay for one night? Yeah. Stay over one night. And you know, that's so kind and compassionate of the Sixth Patriarch. You know, this is a monk, lowly monk who came from very far away to seek certification of the Sixth Patriarch. Sixth Patriarch realized he's probably tired, hungry, probably hasn't taken a bath for a long time. So he says, why don't you stay over one night? Okay, we'll give you food, clothing, and you can even take a shower. So it's such a classy thing to do. Because the sixth patriarch knew this guy is this YongHua guy. Once he makes up his mind, he made up his mind. That's it. You can't talk him out of it. And so the sixth patriarch just stay one night. So it's just a classic act that shows the kindness and compassion that Master Huineng had for his pupils. So YongHua agreed. He stayed one night. Next day, he said, "Okay, thank you. I'm out of here." He left. He came back to his town. The town he came from is called YongHua, and he composed this thing and started teaching chant. All right. And this is the Song of Enlightenment by YongHua that Han Shan, another famous Chinese chant master, very, very famous, wrote himself. So you see, not only YongHua was his work, his Song of Enlightenment is lauded, is famous, it's praised by very important chant masters, big chant masters. So Han Shan felt it was important enough for Master Han Shan to scribe it. Okay, back then there's no printers, so this is an act of approval, an act of praise. He would transcribe it with his own handwriting. So this is a gift. This is a treasure for the Chinese. And now what we have is the privilege of looking again. Looking at how Master YongHua explained this Song of Enlightenment. So this is what we got, the text we got from his disciples, from the DRBA, BTTS, whatever it's called. And so he started by saying, YongHua purifies his body, mouth, and mind. Okay? This is typical. When you talk Dharma, it should be from purity. In order to purify yourself, you purify your body, your mouth, and your mind. Okay? Body, cleanse yourself. Mouth, before you speak Dharma, you should brush your teeth. For example, after we eat, we go brush our teeth before we can speak Dharma. Okay? Otherwise, it's an offense. And we purify the mind. How do you purify the mind? Generally, something you can understand, everyone can understand. Your mind, when you speak the Dharma to benefit others, you speak the Dharma in order to benefit others. Therefore, your mind should be pure. How is it pure? You purify it by getting rid of any thoughts or intentions or attempts or schemes for profit and fame. Does it make sense? You speak in order to help others. You speak the Dharma not because you seek to be more famous, you seek donations. However, in our case, it's different. I'm not enlightened, okay? So pass around a donation basket. Okay. So that's how it is. So Master YongHua said, I purify my mind. In this case here, at his level, he purifies his mind by how? He's different from us. Old monk, how does he purify his mind? You have to think. Wrong. Hey, little girl, how does he purify his mind? Huh? Okay. Yeah? His level is different from ours. He purifies his mind by entering samadhi. He does it at will. That's how he purifies his mind. Because he basically free of greed, anger, stupidity already. There's no point talking to him about, greed, anger, and stupidity. So that's how he purifies his mind. All right? So this is a clue for you, that whatever Dharma he speaks is from a state of purity of mind. And therefore, it's not the same as the typical monk and nun who speaks the Dharma. All right? And also a clue for the rest of you who wish to speak Dharma, whether you're a monk or a nun. The standard is to purify your mind by entering samadhi. So far, so good? Next, he says, YongHua returns to my life and bow and worship to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Okay? He says, return my life. What does return my life? Wei Ming. Okay? What does return my life mean? I'm thinking too. Yes, 5.
Thank you, Master. I'll take a guess. It seems like it's kind of like to give his life in service, to give back.
Get back to what?
To give back to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Not to take his life for himself, but to give to the Triple Jewel.
Yes, 7.
Quy mạng tức là mình đem cái mạng của mình nó dâng cho Phật để phục vụ cái Phật. Mà Phật đây tức là mình đem cái thân mạng mình trở về cái tánh Phật của mình để mà mình phục vụ cái đó.
Okay.
So Master, return my life here mean that you take your life and then you offer to the Buddha in order to serve the Buddha, and then you return to the Buddha's substance.
Okay. Please take this very seriously. Every single thing Master YongHua says is from his heart. It's the truth. This is not like a protocol and you say something for us worldly people because it's courtesy or whatever. He speaks from deep in his heart. He says, I return my life. To who? To the Triple Jewel, meaning the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, meaning that who I am today, what I accomplished today, where I'm at today, is because it came from the Triple Jewel. And this is wisdom, an act of wisdom, by the way. He says that I realize what I got, what I accomplished, is actually bestowed to me from the Triple Jewel. I don't stand here and claim that I, YongHua, got here because with my hands, with my own brains, to conjure up and accomplish what I have done so far. I realize, yes, it's part of it. However, that is so small compared to what the Triple Jewel has provided for me. Can you think like that? You know anyone who thinks like that? I don't. He's the only person. Oh, thank you, sir. Will you do it wrong? We Buddhists do that first and then do this second. Because when you do that, then if I accept that, I say, oh, I'm more important than You understand? I'm having a headache. Okay, you see that? It is this wise man who is a lot wiser. Oh, thank you, by the way. This is the wisest man I've ever met. And that's why he's the only one who says, I owe it to Triple Jewel. That's why I return my life back to Triple Jewel. It's an act of gratitude, okay? And bow and worship, okay? Bow and worship, not only for myself, but also to set an example for my disciples. This is what you do when you're grateful. You return your life to Triple Jewel and you express respect, reverence, worshiping, all right? To all the Buddhas of the 10 directions of the 3 periods of time. How Master YongHua, my late Chinese teacher, got here, is because it's a very long journey that he has been following the Buddhas of the 10 directions and the 3 periods of time. How is that? It's a long process. If you're in this for a quick one, you're going to be disappointed. It's a rather lengthy process that spans lifetimes, countless lifetimes. In the case of Master YongHua, by the way, and that's why he said, looking back, I'm here because of my connections with so many Buddhas all over the universe. Think about it, sir. It's not just God up here, or the Buddha called Shakmina Buddha in our world. It's also Master YongHua has connection with so many Buddhas. Okay? Past connections already. He served so many Buddhas of the 10 directions. That's the scope of his vision, of his experience. Does it help? 3 periods of time, meaning he did that already, he's still doing it now, and in the future he'll continue to do that non-stop. Next, the past, present, and future, to all the honored Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas. Why did he say, I'm not only honoring the Bodhisattva Mahasattvas, but also these superior beings called Bodhisattvas and Mahasattvas are honored by people like me as well. Therefore, you should too. Very gentle clue. You should too honor these Bodhisattva Mahasattvas. Why is that? The Bodhisattvas are enlightened beings in Mahayana. They attain enlightenment that the Song of Enlightenment speaks of. This enlightenment here is enlightenment of the Bodhisattva. So unless you are Bodhisattva, you should not be speaking of enlightenment. Okay? And so he said the Bodhisattvas are honored by people like him, by enlightened people like Master YongHua. So are the Mahasattvas. Mahasattvas are higher level Bodhisattvas. Okay? They both serve purposes. Bodhisattvas serve Mahasattvas. Did you know that? There's a hierarchy here. Enlightened people like Bodhisattvas, they're not good enough yet. So they serve, the bosses are Mahasattvas. Then who's the Mahasattva's bosses? Buddhas. Is it clear? This Buddhism is very hierarchical. We know our places. You don't just, a bodhisattva doesn't simply go and say, hey Buddha, can we talk? Okay? 9, to the succession of patriarchs of East and West. Remember, he says, first, we're supposed to honor bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, mean all bodhisattvas and mahasattvas. In particular, also to this lineage, to the lineage. Can we change it to lineage, please? It's not succession. This is an old translation, and therefore it could be improved a little bit. Okay, to the lineage. Li Dai. Li Dai is lineage. Meaning that the previous patriarchs of the past, of the East and West. At the East, please. Sorry. Hello. Of the East and West. Okay, so there is this lineage, this succession, this hierarchy. There's a line of patriarchs that came from Shakyamuni Buddha, and the first patriarch was nominated by Shakyamuni Buddha, and his name is Mahakashyapa, who then, from then on, each patriarch chose their successors. Okay, and that's why this lineage here is the key lineage in Mahayana. That's how Mahayana is transmitted from generation to generation, okay, through these patriarchs. And if those of you are new, yes, there is a question, number 3.
You can finish your thought first.
It's okay.
Okay. From T.S. Geppetto, when by way of blessings the cat pounces the mouse, does one let escalate the mental bliss into laughter, or should one empty out the joy obstruction equal as the suffering obstruction and not indulge?
Speak English. Okay. Rephrase it, please. I don't understand.
When you see a situation and it's funny, do you laugh or do you control yourself and not laugh and see it as suffering?
That's a Chan question? Help. I'm supposed to be discussing a very serious topic called Chan and Song of Enlightenment. Okay, anyone? That's a good question. What are you supposed to do? Come on, guys, play along. Come on. Don't look so serious. Oh, we're above this. Are you kidding me? Yes, 5.
Thank you, Master. You know, if you want to identify with people as a human being, it seems pretty natural to laugh if something's funny. If you're in a meeting, somebody cracks a joke and you don't laugh, you're either in a position to be in charge or be detached. I found it's kind of good just to laugh along. If you think about it too much and you make yourself too distanced, you're not connecting with people. And you're not going to be able to have as good an effect on them as you might want to.
Okay, anyone else? Old monk, you laugh?
Ai cười? Who smile? And who liên là who connect to another person? Các tổ nói tôi niệm Phật tôi còn phải xúc miệng nữa, cười cái gì?
So he said, who is laughing? Who is smiling? The patriarch, they say that before, when they recite the Buddha's name, they have to brush their teeth. So then there's nothing to laugh at.
Okay, anyone else? 9.
Mô Phật bạch thầy, ngài Hòa thượng Tiên Hóa ngày xưa ở Trung Quốc á, thầy ổng là một người Tàu, rồi thêm một loại người thì nó nói người Húc Kiến á, nó nói cái tiếng cười, nó nói một cái tiếng ga đó, ngài Hòa thượng Tiên Hóa nghe rồi sau ngộ quá ngài cười lên cái ngài mới dịch ra cho người ta nghe, mà cái tiếng đó dịch con không biết dịch đâu, con ở trong kinh đó thầy con có nghe ngài nói là tại vì ngài là một người Tàu, rồi có người Húc Kiến nhiều khi nó nói cái ngôn ngữ nó khác nhau, mà nói nghe cái tiếng ngôn ngữ đó rất là thô lỗ, mà ngài nghe rồi ngài mắc cười. Cái đó là cũng một cái kêu bằng cái chuyện đó, nghe một cái cũng làm mình cũng bình thường, mà ngài nghe rồi ngài cười, ngài mới học dịch ra cho người ta nghe. Mô Phật.
Master YongHua, when he was in China, and then he's the Chinese, and then there's the Fujian people that speak with with accent, and then he heard about it, and then suddenly he was laughing, and then later on he translate back, and then I don't know much about this. I don't know how to translate, but basically it's like he heard the people speak with dialect, with accent, and then he laughed about it, and I think it's normal to laugh.
Okay, yes, sir, in the back. 2.
Master, I kind of, something came to me when I heard the question. That was, when we are suffering, we know that if I am, whatever the thing that is causing suffering, I'm attached to it, and that is causing the suffering. But if I am enjoying something, I'm happy, even though I'm attached to it, I don't want to let it go because I don't see that as suffering. So that's kind of what I was taking away from that question. If for the spiritual process, if we have to let go of the attachment, it's easy to understand it is causing suffering, so I have to let it go. But if something is a pleasurable, happy, laughter, enjoyment, how do we deal with those situations? Should I become more serious about them, or how to handle it?
Very good. I said, how do you handle it? Good interpretation of the question. That's what he's driving at. Okay, so how do you handle it? How would you do it yourself? That's what he wants to know. Would you laugh?
I liked what this gentleman said. We don't want to become too detached from life. Then I cannot connect with other people. So maybe I need to realize the difference between detachment and non-attachment.
Okay. Very good. Anyone else? There's no one fits all solution for this. My attitude is be yourself. This is how you should live. This is how you can really help others, by just being yourself, your imperfect self. Okay? So for example, if you feel like laughing because it's funny, laugh. Don't say, I know I'm not supposed to laugh. Okay? Just laugh. If you feel that you're not supposed to laugh because whatever the reason, like you need to come across serious, okay, then don't laugh. What's the big deal? But the point here is it's about attachments. What do? If you laugh, if you don't laugh and you're attached to, you're suffering. Okay, and that's why you don't find it. You can't find it funny enough to laugh. If you laugh, then you're too lighthearted and you don't take things seriously enough. By the way, laughing to enjoy it is also another form of attachment. When you're suffering, you're attached to suffering, then it's just as bad to be attached to happiness. Okay, and therefore, either way, whether you laugh or you don't laugh, is still an attachment. Think about it. Okay, and therefore, just be yourself. At times, laugh, and other times, it's perfectly okay not to laugh. Yes, too.
Sometimes if I laugh at a situation, then I can also see that maybe I have some judgments, or I think the other person is funny, like it's some kind of a mind point within it. Not like a neutral thing. Would that cause negative karma?
I'm sorry, again?
Like if I am laughing at something, maybe that laughter is coming from some attachment or some judgment about other people. Maybe I think maybe I'm better, and then I'm laughing at other people. So that kind of a laughter, right? That is negative, right?
Yes and no. We are full of attachments. We have so many attachments. Speak about attachment to food. Aren't you hungry? Almost there, okay? And you, young lady, comes June, you better come to the temple and cook. Okay? So save your strength, get stronger, strengthen your legs, go exercise your legs, okay? No excuses. I forewarn you.
Okay.
Okay, go home and tell your son, a regimen of walking, of biking, or weightlifting. I don't care. Get your legs stronger. No excuses. Okay.
Mua hoặc gì thầy ủng hộ nữa thầy. Thầy giúp nữa.
Yes, Master, but you have to help me.
Conditional assistance. I will help you as long as you help me. Okay. Now, we're full of attachments. The principle is to reduce attachment because the attachments get in our ways. Okay? The attachment get in the ways of what we aspiring for. However, cultivation is a smart discrimination, a distinction of which attachments should we let go first and learn to tolerate and live with the others. Does it make sense? Okay, for example, attachment to food. Most of us like to eat. And therefore, the attachment is natural. You cannot say that I practice Chan, I cultivate, and I'm trying to liberate myself, therefore I will squash my attachment to food. That's artificial. That's not necessary. Okay? Instead of doing that, there's better ways where you can, for example, reduce attachments to eating excessively. Okay? So reduce the intake. However, at the same time, you have to be pretty smart as well. If your wife cooks for you, you better be attached to the food. Yes? And you better make sure that you eat it right away before it gets cold. They get very upset. I'm harping this point here. My ex-wife used to beat up on me and said, when I cook for you, you better come and eat before it gets cold, you hear? Okay. So those kind of things that, it's imprinted in my brains. I can't seem to get rid of it. This fear of letting food go cold when someone cooks for me. Serious, I have this phobia. Now I know, now I realize where it came from. She left me, but I still traumatized by it. So the point here is that there's a balance somewhere. You need to learn to let go of the attachments. They are useful, they are helpful, but it's perfectly okay to be attached to other things that we still are dependent upon. Okay, so it's same thing. In the same vein, sometimes it's perfectly okay to laugh. For example, if your boss cracks a joke, you better laugh, even though it's not funny. Yes? Sounds familiar? So that's why it depends. Sometimes it's okay to laugh, sometimes it's okay not to laugh. Personally, I prefer to laugh. Why? Because it relaxes me and relaxes the people around me. Ordinary people are too serious. They take life too seriously. They try too hard. And it's refreshing to meet someone, be around someone who's just be himself. So that's my advice to you, be yourself. Subject to circumstances. If the boss is there, laugh at his jokes. Or his wife's jokes. Okay? So it varies. It is no fixed rule. And don't be too rigid. And most importantly to me, be yourself. Okay? It's perfectly okay to laugh and then you realize, oops, I shouldn't have laughed. Then apologize. What's the big deal? You're authentic. And it's not contrived. And it's charming to me. And it as was alluded earlier, it opens the channels of communication, makes us feel more humane, more real. All right? All right. So the patriarchs, we talked about, going back to slide number 9, patriarchs. Okay? Those are the wise teachers who can guide us on how to become enlightened, how to get what we want. Okay, that's what patriarchs are supposed to do. Yes, ultimately it's towards the road towards enlightenment. However, before that, patriarchs too, by the way, in case you haven't noticed, haven't understood yet, sir. You're supposed to help people get what they want as a patriarch. Okay? So these patriarchs are supposed to have enough wisdom to help people with their lives, with the problems, with the questions of the East and West. The West refers to, this YongHua monk here is Chinese. So to the west of China is India. So the patriarchs from India are called patriarchs from the West, meaning before Buddhism was transferred from India to China, so there were Indian patriarchs, so patriarchs from the West. And then they transferred to China. Now the patriarchs are from the East. So there's a lineage, a succession of patriarchs from India, and then the succession of patriarchs from China, and now their patriarchs are in America, United States. So now we have a second American patriarch already. So now the lineage of patriarchs is in the United States, for your reference. All right? So not just the lineage of the patriarch East and West, but also and of the United States. All right? And to the lamp of holy sagehood still passed on from old. Okay. Not sure I like the translation, but I looked at the content here. The point that Master YongHua is trying to make, that he made, is that something called a lamp. A lamp in Buddhism, in China in particular, a lamp is a source of brightness, a source of light that the patriarchs and the sages use in order to help us, not them, help us see the way, see better, see more clearly. So you shine a lamp. You shine a lamp on the path. You shine a light on a problem. That's what patriarchs do. They use their light of wisdom to shine a light on a problem or shine a light on your problems. Okay, so that's why the concept of teng or lamp is the source of light to help make things clearer for us, not for them. I remind you, the teng here is not for them, it's for us. Okay, so the lamp, a jargon from the Chinese, a lamp here, or from Buddhism, is a lamp is source of light. Okay, and before that, again, it helps understand Chinese. Okay, the translation is a little bit could be a little bit better. Xian Sheng. Okay, Sheng here is the lamp is qualified by Xian Sheng. Sheng here is sagely, meaning these people are enlightened. So this lamp here are the light of wisdom, the light from the sages. Okay, Sheng Teng here is the brightness, the clarity of the sages. So far, so good. All right? And in Buddhism in particular, it's not just the sages that are in play here. They also xian, the worthies. Okay, the worthies are the ones right below the sages. Before you become a sage, you are a worthy. in order to become a sage, you have to first become a worthy position. Then you promote it to sagehood. Okay? So this here actually should be changed a little bit. The translation could be a little bit better and say that he's referring to the lamp from the sages and the worthies. This is 3 Chinese characters here, and this is from old to now, Lai is arrived. So the lamp that came from the old or the ancient until now, worthies and sages. That's the explanation. I'm not sure how to phrase it because it's easier for me to explain it to you than to make it into a verse or a prose. Okay, it's not my strength. Do I look like I can do it? No, I don't. And to the lamp from the sages and the worthies of the past till the present. Sounds good? Busy boy. Yes, so much energy. Is he like this at home? He's like this. All right, next, 11. I only hope the triple jewel will confer aid and protection. Okay, and that's fine. Chui is deem me worthy. Okay, this is very humble. He says, I hope that the triple jewel deem me worthy enough to jiahu, to protect me. And that's a concept here. He says, I hope that I earned your protection. Okay? Chui here says it's a bestowing from high to low, but the concept here of jiahu is to do it because you earned it. It's not automatic. It's no sense of entitlement at all. Just because Master YongHua is a patriarch, he says, hey, I'm a patriarch. Aren't you supposed to help me? Aren't you supposed to protect me? No. He says, I know in order for me to get protection from you, I have to earn it. Even as a patriarch. Even as a god. Okay? You still have to earn it. And that's the spirit of Chan, by the way. We earn our way. And that's what patriarchs do. And that's why we also must do it. Okay? So, ways, I only hope that Triple will deem me worthy to help and protect. Keep it simple. Okay, I'll leave it to you. Up to you. Is it okay, or just shall I wait for you? The concept here is not jiahu. The concept is that I hope you feel that I'm worth it. Okay? You consent to. You deem me worthy You feel I'm worth it? Yes, 3.
Going back to the cat pouncing on the mouse. From T.S. Geppetto, the cat pouncing the mouse I meant as is described in the Chan Handbook, page 73. The joy I revere to is a very subjective bliss that can be felt coming from deep within when ignorance is dissolved. It comes in short flashes, and I hope the full lotus samadhi training can help with stabilizing it for longer times.
Chan Handbook, which Chan Handbook? You know how many Chan Handbooks are out there in the world? Rule of thumb. I have very short attention span. If you use long sentences, I get lost. So break it up into shorter sentences. I used to learn French. I used to speak French. And the French is, they have one sentence could be like 100 words long. And that's supposed to be good French. And when I came to America, finally, I don't need to remember the interconnection between one thought to the other and so forth. And so help me by posing simpler questions. Otherwise, I can't keep up with you. Okay, a few more minutes. 12. Explain for me the proper enlightenment and turn the Dharma wheel. Okay, Master YongHua says, this is qi, right? To instruct. Teach me. Don't say explain for me. Teach me the proper enlightenment. And turn a Dharma wheel. So he says, I beseech you to help protect me, the Triple Jewel to help protect me and teach me the proper enlightenment and turn a Dharma wheel. So he says, teach me the proper enlightenment, meaning the enlightenment of the Buddhas, meaning that he claims he's not enlightened yet. Is he lying? Does he need to be taught the proper enlightenment? Does he? Come on, quickly. We need to go to lunch, huh? Eat. Huh? Of course he needs to be taught the proper enlightenment. Not what you were about to say, huh? Of course, it was a trick question. See who's a smart aleck. He says, no, he doesn't. Yes, he does. Why? Because the proper enlightenment, he's not a Buddha yet. He still needs to be taught about the proper enlightenment. The enlightenment that's proper enlightenment is higher level than his, by the way. Okay? Until you're a Buddha, you still need to be taught that those gaps in your wisdom, the gaps in your knowledge, that has to be taught to you. So this is very factual. He says, this is not fake humility. I know I still need to be taught about the proper enlightenment, okay? And turn the Dharma wheel. Not just the proper enlightenment, also the Dharmas, the Buddha Dharma, all the advanced concepts that I don't understand. Very factual monk. He doesn't have false humility and he doesn't pretend at all. Any questions or comments before we stop here? Okay, thank you all, and we'll see you next time.